Coming up, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 shows I'm looking forward to watching on Disney Plus later this year. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. Hi, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com, and I wanted to share my thoughts on some of the upcoming shows that I am most looking forward to watch on Disney Plus, and they're also likely going to be a few of these are going to be on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States. So let's jump into it and talk about my first pick, which is Star Wars Skeleton Crew. So this one is going to be arriving on Disney Plus on December the 3rd, though for us in the UK it'll be the day after due to time zones and all that kind of stuff. So this brand new series has caught my attention for a long time, and I think one of the things I'm liking the look of this series is because it kind of goes back to me for classic Star Wars, back to that 80s vibe. Kind of got that Goonies vibe where you got a bunch of kids that kind of get into a spaceship, head off onto a big adventure, bump into a new Jedi who's going to be played by Jude Law. You got the pirates that we've seen introduced in the Mandalorian series. And I don't really know where this series is going to go. And I think it's going to be an epic adventure. And it's kind of going to feed in, I think, on that feel of nostalgia. It's things like, you know, we've maybe seen like with Stranger Things, because it leans in on like the Goonies, E.T., and also be Star Wars. And I think this series for me is one that I'm really looking forward to. Obviously, The Acolyte didn't quite hit that, but I am hoping that Skeleton Crew manages to do that. I think it's got everything here that it needs to. I'm previously hearing about the show at Star Wars Celebration last year, seeing the clips, seeing the trailers and stuff. It's got everything that I think I'm looking forward to. I know not everyone is going to probably enjoy this one. I think we're at a weird stage with Star Wars that no matter what they put out, you're going to have a chunk of the audience that doesn't like it. If you're looking for something more serious, like Andor, this one probably is not going to be for you. I think it's going to be much more in line with the main Star Wars films, like that vibe that we got. Because, you know, these Star Wars films are aimed at kids, and I think a lot of people forget that, and I think this show is probably going to be able to lean in a little bit more on that one. I've got a lot of hopes for it. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully it hits all those points, but let me know. Are you looking forward to watching Skeleton Crew? Let me know in the comments below. And for my second pick, I am going to be picking the British original series Rivals, which is going to be dropping onto Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus and on Disney Plus around the world on October the 18th. So this one is based on Dame Jilly Cooper's book of the same name, and it's set against the backdrop of the drama, the excess and the shocking antics of a power-grabbing social elite in 1980s England. And for me, the minute it had David Tennant involved in it, that was a must-see. Sometimes I have heard that Jilly Cooper books can be a bit raunchy. I've never read any of them or anything like that one. But got a British series, that's definitely for me a must-do, something I'm definitely interested in seeing. It's got a great British cast. And to me, you know, I just want more British stuff arriving on Disney Plus. It's a very different kind of tonally and how it works, and it just is. I think it's going to feel very different than most of the things that we see coming in from Disney Plus and Hulu. So this one is definitely one that I am looking forward to watching. But let me know, are you excited about Rivals? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. So for my third pick, I'm going to be picking Elton John's Never Too Late. So this is a brand new documentary which takes a look at the life of Elton John and also takes a look at how he put together his final tour, the Yellow Brick Road tour. Now for me, this one is really interesting because I was able to see him on tour when he came to a nearby city, and it's something I've always wanted to do. I always wanted to go, and once I knew it was his final tour, I was like, I'm getting tickets for this. I loved it, seeing the show, seeing the music. I've been a big fan of his well back since the 80s. This for me was a fantastic show, and so to have a documentary where he goes into how he created that tour, but also just to give an insight into his life, etc. I've seen like Rocket Man, but it's always sometimes a little bit different seeing documentaries. And obviously as well, the sort of this big thing that we saw was a big stadium show which aired on Disney Plus. It just also happened to be the night that Chapek got fired from Disney. Just as another big night for Disney overall, but yeah, for me, this is definitely a documentary I'm looking forward to watching. But let me know, are you looking forward to watching this Elton John documentary? Let me know in the comments below. There's also going to be a documentary about Bruce Springsteen coming in October. Though I'm not a big fan of his music, but I'll still check it out. But yeah, the Elton John one really did jump out to me. But let me know in the comments below. For my fourth pick, I'm going to be picking Pixar's Win or Lose. So this is going to be the first ever series from Pixar for Disney Plus. I also think this one's probably going to be the last of the full-length series. I just don't think they're going to be making too many of them after the success of Inside Out 2 at the box office and just them refocusing back on theatrical films. This is going to be, like I said, the first full-length series. So this is not shorts. These are full-length episodes, or we say full-length. You're probably looking at about 20, 25 minutes a piece. You know, the normal kind of Disney Channel length TV episodes, not the kind of the hour-long ones that maybe a lot of people are looking forward to. This is going to be taking a look at a group of team members that are to play softball, and while I don't really know what softball is, I'm guessing it's a bit like rounders. While I've got no interest in the sport, I do know that Pixar is fantastic at getting that story across, doing something a little bit different, and that's something I'm very, very much interested in kind of learning more about. But also, I just know that they can pull on my heartstrings and get that emotion out of me. They do it with everything, so I've got no reason to think this isn't going to be happening. So this entire series will be dropping onto Disney Plus on December the 6th, just in time for Christmas, so I'm sure it's going to be a big hit. But I've been waiting for this one for a long time. Thought it was going to come out last year. It's finally coming out. I'm really looking forward to watching it, but let me know, you're looking forward to watching Win or Lose? Let me know in the comments below. So for my fifth and final pick, I'm going to be picking the FX series Say Nothing. So this one's going to be dropping onto Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the US and on Disney Plus internationally on November the 14th. This one is all about the IRA, and it explores the extremes some people will go to in the name of their beliefs, and the way of a deeply divided society can suddenly tip over the edge during an armed conflict, and the long shadow of radical violence that are all affected, and the emotional and psychological costs that came about through the code of silence. Now, one of the reasons I'm looking forward to watching this brand new series is obviously it's a drama from FX, so therefore instantly know it's going to be very top-notch, top-level stuff. They do amazing dramas, so that's definitely one thing. But more importantly, as a kid growing up here in the UK in the 80s, the IRA and stuff was this constant threat. It was just constantly on the news. There was constantly bombs and stuff going off. We kind of grew up in that era, and it actually was kind of one of those situations of, like, looking back on it now, we never went to London. We never went because of the threat there that was always in place. We never went to Northern Ireland or even Ireland. And it wasn't really until I was an adult and the Good Friday Agreement had been signed that, you know, I started visiting London, and even went out to Dublin a couple of times. And just this kind of thing of, that was just like growing up, that was not really something that you really did. So I think I have that kind of idea of like what happened, and I'd love to sort of see it come through a drama. Obviously there'll be some fictitious moments and stuff in there, but yeah, for me there's just an element of interest in this whole story to learn a little bit more about it. But yeah, so I'm definitely interested in seeing this series when it drops onto, as I said, Hulu on Disney Plus in the US and on Disney Plus internationally. But I mean, this one's going to be very interesting. But let me know, are you excited to watch this new series? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, there's obviously lots of other stuff coming to Disney Plus in the coming months ahead, but I'd love to know, what are you looking forward to? What are you not? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Get in touch on social media, etc. But on that note, guys, thank you very much for watching. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow, and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.